Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Leading Experts. I'm Grayson Foster. Today I'll be speaking with author, trainer, and speaker Dan Casson about his new book series, Discovering Your Own Direction, and a future book series on discovering your own purpose. Dan's passion is helping people with their personal and professional lives to take them to the next level, to experience growth, success, and life to its fullest. Stay with us, Leading Experts. We'll be right back.
Welcome to this edition of Leading Experts. Leading Experts is informative and exciting. Leading Experts interviews authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs in all areas of business, so you become a much more informed consumer.
Welcome back to Leading Experts. I'm Grayson Foster. Joining me today is author, trainer, and speaker Dan Casson, whose new book series, Discovering Your Own Direction, is designed to help people take that next step after college or in changing careers or stepping out on their own. Dan focuses on transforming performance in leadership, marketing, sales, customer service, and internet marketing, and has spoken to hundreds of groups, thousands of people helping business owners over the last 20 years. His focus is transforming performance in leadership, marketing, sales, customer service, and internet marketing. He's here today to share some of his secrets with us. Welcome to the show, Dan.
Thank you for having me, Grayson.
All right, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, your passion is truly helping people take their personal and professional lives to the next level. Right. So can you share with us a little bit of your background?
Sure. I was born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. I don't know if you know what Louisville, Kentucky is famous for, obviously the Kentucky Derby and all of that. So I've had a lot of great culture around me and a lot of education. Went to the University of Kentucky and studied architecture. And then I got a graduate degree in operational development and human growth development. And as a result of that, I started trying not only to build buildings, but building people. I actually did some design work in sunroom and additions for a while, and since about the last 7 or 8 years full-time, I've been full-time going around speaking to people about these areas, about leadership, marketing, sales, customer service, and internet marketing. And I really have a passion to help people transform their performance, and do that by getting more information and finding some of the steps necessary that they need to take to accomplish that.
All right, let's talk about the first problem that most people face in their daily lives, and that's the challenge to stay motivated and stay on track. I know I deal with that all the time.
Oh, we all deal with it, Grace, and I'm telling you, motivation is a serious issue for all of us because we get up in the morning and we have to do something.
Right.
And I talk about 3 different types of lists in this regard. I talk about having your own list, being listless, and then having somebody else's list. Now, if you have your own list, you're going to try to accomplish all of the things on your list. That's no problem.
Right.
But what happens when you get up in the morning and you're kind of listless? You know, there's nothing wrong with being listless. It's probably just your body telling you you need to rejuvenate a bit, which is fine. Sometimes the problem can be is if you're dealing with somebody else's list. You're trying to work off somebody else's list. Now, we have to do that in life in that we grow up using our parents' lists. They tell us what to do. We go to college and high school and maybe even graduate school, and we deal with somebody else's list about what to do. Then we get a job and we deal with somebody else's list.
That's true.
Not a problem until you decide you have your own purpose and you only want to work on your own purpose. Now you've got to find out what's your list. And once you find out what your list is, whether it's adopting somebody else's or not, you can be list full, and as a result of that, you can be more motivated, because motivation comes from within, not from what happens to you, but from what you decide and make of it.
So how do you know then if you have the wrong list, let's say?
Well, the first thing you need to do is find out what your purpose is. Purpose can be a number of different things. Trying to help people. For a while I was a hospice chaplain. And I love to do that because I love working with people and communicating with people and helping them through tough times. But you know what happened? My dad died about 4 months before I quit. One of the reasons I quit. And when he died, that was the closest death to me in about 20 years. You think it was different handling that?
Yes,
so my purpose kind of changed at that point because I really felt like I had to heal myself and take care of myself for a while before I could come back and start helping other people. So you have to find out what your purpose is first.
How important is it to have the right attitude and to consciously focus on staying positive from the moment that we wake up in the morning?
Well, we've always heard that attitude determines your altitude. I think Zig Ziglar said that years ago, and many other speakers have repeated that as well. Attitude determines how high you'll go in business. But we also know that attitude can also help you find latitude. If you have a good attitude, you'll get more things done. You'll have more people to work with. Now, I struggle with it as well as everybody else, but let me give you an example of where it worked really well for me. I was in banking for 9, almost 12 years, and in that period of time, I had to deal with the customer and the back office people. No problem dealing with the customer sometimes, no problem dealing with the back office people sometimes, but I saw other managers who would deal with the back office people, and they'd get on the phone and say, "What did you do to my customer? What did you do to their account?" On the contrary, I would come on the phone and I would say, "Hi, this is Dan Casson. Who am I speaking to?" "Hey, Grayson, you look great today. How are you doing?" And they would look at the phone like, how do they know what I'm looking like, you know? And I would talk to them, we'd joke about it and all. I left 9 years later, and I had people I had never seen send me cards from different departments saying, "Dan, sorry to see you go. You look great today." And all the department would sign it because I dealt with all those people over time. But do you think I got more done with my attitude than the manager did? You know, if I were that person, it's like, I'm going to set this aside for a bit till they really get angry at me. Attitude's critically important to getting things done and getting other people involved, because you can't do it by yourself. It's as simple as that.
What did my mother always tell me? You catch more flies with honey than with vinegar.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's an old adage, but I think it applies.
It works.
But how can people really discover what they're passionate about? I think a lot of people are really afraid to go after what they really want in life, aren't they?
Right. That's what I talk about in discovering your own direction. See, it's not just discovering direction or discovering your direction, but it's discovering your own direction. What is your direction in life? What do you want to accomplish? And you can really kind of go through a step-by-step process of doing it. And I talk about finding out what your motivation and your purpose is. And then you have kind of a team, which I spell TEEAM, which is your talents and training, your education, your experiences, your attitude, and your motivation. And you put that team together and put that to work on your purpose. Now you can start accomplishing that purpose with a newfound attitude, with a new way of accomplishing things, and with a new strategy to get it done. And you're going to more likely accomplish it than somebody who doesn't have a type of plan to get that done.
Once you do discover your passion and say, okay, this is what I'm going to go after in my life, how critical is it to have a vision, and how do vision and passion sort of differ from each other?
It's amazing how interrelated those two are. You must have a passion and a vision together. Now, when I'm talking with businesses about mission, vision, values, and goals. And if you have a passion about those things, you can get things accomplished. It starts with a mission, which is related to your vision. I usually ask corporations or individuals, what do you plan to do 1, 3, 5 years down the pike? What is the company going to look like? Or what is your life going to look like down the pike? Now, if that's the case, you find a mission that helps you accomplish that. In my case, my mission is I want to help people solve problems. That's my personal mission statement. I want to help people solve problems. Now, my corporate mission statement is I seek to transform performance in leadership, marketing, sales, customer service, internet marketing. And yes, I do count them off on my finger because it makes people think about those different issues and how they may relate. Now, when I tell people this, they usually ask me, well, how do you do that?
Yeah.
And then I say, well, that depends on you and your business or your individuality and what you want to accomplish. That's why the title of the book is Discover Your Own Direction, so that we can help you find a direction for you in your life. And then you put those things together with the passion to get them done, and you're more likely to get them done.
I think a lot of people end up getting to the end of their life and find that they lived somebody else's life.
Right. Right.
And somebody else's expectations.
And that goes back to the list less or other people's list. Maybe they didn't have a list and they depended on others, or they just worked with other people's list, which is not necessarily bad as long as it does accomplish some of the things you want to accomplish. Those people who stay where they are because they want the retirement package and they want the freedom that allows, they're using other people's list, but they're going to get what they want. So you have to figure that out. You have to think about those things.
That's true. Now, who have been some of the mentors in your life that have really inspired inspired you, or maybe even books that you've read?
Yeah, I had a wonderful pastor, Bob Russell, who I've listened to all my life, pretty much about growing and about purpose and about leadership. I've read a lot of leaders. The Founding Fathers on Leadership is an excellent series on CD, and T-Rex, which is a book by about Teddy Roosevelt's life. Did you know that we were almost in the First World War in 1902? Different issue. Okay, moving on. The point is, I've read about a lot about leadership and marketing and sales and customer service and practiced it a lot myself. So now I'm thinking, to be a good mentor, you really only have to be a few steps ahead of other people. Well, I'm a few more steps than that maybe, but I still want to mentor people and help them to grow and develop while I'm still being a mentor myself, a mentee rather myself.
Right.
And so I want to be able to help other people, but I realize I still have to grow and develop. We all should be doing that, both
Absolutely.
of those. Yeah.
Now, just before we go to break, what can people expect to find when they visit your website?
Well, we're constantly reinventing our website in terms of leadership, marketing, sales, customer service issues. Actually, we're breaking some of those issues out in separate websites themselves so that we can be seen on the internet, which is an important point. I'm particularly focusing on internet marketing in one site because the last 7 years that's been my passion, helping people understand the difference there. They'll be able to see information about the upcoming book series and both Discovering Your Direction as well as Discovering Your Own Success, which is another series down the pike.
Great. Coming up, I'll continue my discussion with author and personal coach Dan Casson. We'll be discussing something called Fanafy. Find out what that is right after this break. Leading Experts will be right back.